Hey there, historians. Here is your walkthrough of the Facing Slavery Triangular Trade lesson. Your driving question is, what was the impact of slavery on Africans? And you're going to be able to answer the question that you can compare and contrast the impact of slavery on Africans. And what you are going to be able to do specifically out of this lesson is identify the elements of the triangular trade that happened on the onset of slavery. So our instruction here is, for hundreds of years, slave trade, or the exchange of captured people for goods, forced West Africans to confront dilemmas to survive. A dilemma is a situation in which a person is forced to make a decision, even though he or she does not like any of the choices. This will play the rest of this for you so you can listen as you follow along. We're talking about triangular trade, and these audio files will give you a more in-depth understanding of what triangular trade was and how the guns played into the first leg of triangular trade. Then we start talking about the Middle Passage and what happened in the Middle Passage. This last section is here to pre-teach you and give you a bit of information for your next lesson, where we'll talk more in depth about slave auctions. Again, these audio files are going to give you more information about what is happening in those, to start the triangular trade, and what is happening during the time of the Middle Passage, including what you can read on this graph, on this image right here, on this graphic, in order to understand what is happening during the time of this triangular trade. Your activity is, you have to label correctly what is being moved from one continent to another during this triangular trade process. And then our last slide here is a couple additional activities that gives you more information about the slave trade and the triangular trade. And then this is a great video to watch to lead you into what we'll talk about in the next lesson when it gets to slave auctions. This also gives you a little bit more background information on how slavery came out of indentured servitude. And this is a link to an online memorial to help people better understand what happened during this time of slavery and this triangular trade process. Again, your goal is that by the end of this lesson, you have a better understanding of what is happening with slavery and how that impacted Africans, and specifically, what are the elements of the triangular trade that started slavery. Study hard, pay close attention, and be a historian.